Coming up on WFT Midday, the first presidential debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. The rules both candidates had to agree on to make the event possible. For head coach Billy Napier after an impressive debut of the new Gators QB. And another week of showers and thunderstorms, the UF weather team is tracking the impacts to North Central Florida. WUFT Midday starts right now.
You're watching WUFT Midday.
A 13-year-old is in custody today. He's accused of threatening to shoot up multiple Columbia County schools on social media. This is WFT Midday. I'm Emma Pastis. The investigation into this threat, including the arrest, unfolded in just 6 hours. Around 6 p.m. on Sunday, Columbia County deputies announced they were investigating a social media threat involving a school shooting at multiple schools. Just 3 hours later, deputies said they plan to keep the schools open today with extra law enforcement in place. They also said they were working with the FDLE and local police departments. Just before midnight, deputies identified and brought in a 13-year-old suspect from Madison County. Deputies say the investigation into the threat is ongoing. We'll continue to bring you any updates as they are released on WUFT.org. It is still unclear when classes will resume at the Georgia high school where a deadly mass shooting took place last week. In a letter to parents and students, the principal of Appalachia High School says they are still trying to determine the next steps for students and staff. In just a few hours, students will be able to retrieve their belongings that were left inside during the shooting. 14-year-old Colt Gray allegedly opened fire in the school last Wednesday. 2 teachers and 2 students were killed, 9 others were injured. Gray and his father are both facing murder charges. The bond hearing for an Alachua County education activist has been delayed. It's because of the additional charges added to the Joel Searby case. 43-year-old Joel Searby is being held at the Alachua County Jail of 12 counts of child porn possession. Searby was previously a spokesperson for Newberry Education First, the organization that worked to convert Newberry's public schools to charter schools earlier this year. Investigators say Searby used a fake name on the social media platform Snapchat to send inappropriate pictures and text messages to a 15-year-old boy. When investigators searched Searby's home, they found more than 10 images of child porn. Searby is currently being held on a $900,000 bond. We are looking to learn when tomorrow's bond hearing will be rescheduled. Thousands of people are being forced out of their homes as the line fire in the San Bernardino National Forest continues to spread. Crier crews say that there burned more than 20,000 acres. Currently, at least 4,000 people have been displaced. Fire crews say the main concern about the line fire burning is the National Forest is its unpredictability. Officials say more than 300 lightning strikes occurred on Saturday alone. Because of that fire weather, it could spark additional fires at any moment.
We have approximately 30 structures lost, 40 to 50 homes, about 10% containment on the fire. We're still working very aggressively in the divisions to stop all that forward progress. A lot of internal burning going on within the different divisions. We're approximately 90 acres in size right now.
35,000 structures could still be impacted by the fire, and crews say they are concerned about smoke from the fire that could make the firefight from the air more challenging. One day to go before the highly anticipated debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. Both sides are hunkering down with preparations, all while still meeting with potential voters. As Bree Jackson reports, this showdown could be the only one before Election Day.
Former President Trump and Vice President Harris preparing to face off. Harris holding mock debates and making campaign stops in Pittsburgh.
Are you ready, Madam Vice President?
Ready. Trump previewing his punchlines at rallies.
We're run by stupid people. Stupid people. And we found that out at the debate with Joe. How did that work out?
The 2 presidential hopefuls locked in a tight race. Both campaigns know there is a lot at stake.
Well, listen, I don't think she's going to underestimate Donald Trump. After all, he's been engaged in these debates at the presidential level since 2016.
I think he needs to let Kamala Harris talk, something she's been reluctant to do unless she's reading a teleprompter.
Harris picking up key endorsements from Republicans Liz and Dick Cheney.
I applaud the Cheneys for their courage in defending democracy. What's going to make the difference is their records.
Tuesday's debate could be the difference maker for voters concerned about issues ranging from immigration to the economy.
I think the debate really reveals a lot of the honest opinions of the people that are running for the offices. I think the debates open up a lot of answers to a lot of people's questions.
Harris and Trump will make their case on the debate stage at National Constitution Center in Pennsylvania, a must-win state for both candidates. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
It's not easy to throw a party for a former president, but this is a heck of a party. So for the teachers here, I thank you for your dedication. Retired politician might be. I believe we will see our way clear to immigration policies that are just, fair, and in the interest.
Former President George W. Bush has plans to stay out of this year's election cycle. NBC News reached out to the former president's office this weekend, and he was told that he and his wife Laura have no plans to endorse either candidate in the upcoming presidential race. According to a statement from his office, President Bush retired from presidential politics years ago. In the past, Bush did publicly endorse Republican candidates Mitt Romney in 2012 and now late Senator John McCain in 2008, but in 2016 he avoided commenting on Trump and focused on supporting Republican senators. The UF weather team is tracking heavy rainfall and storms later today, but first let's take a live look. Out on our DOT cams, this is I-75 near Micanopy. Looks like there's no traffic right now. The roads are looking mostly clear this afternoon. We are starting to see some darker clouds heading our way. UF forecaster Nicole Borman is tracking when those clouds could turn into a storm.
Here we take a live look at our campus cam. We have some low-hanging clouds hanging over Century Tower with 80 degrees and feeling a little bit like 86 degrees. We have been seeing since in the past 24 hours an inch and a half of rain. Now here's how those temperatures are looking in your area. We have 80 degrees in Jacksonville, 84 in Ocala, and 82 in the Bronson. Now going back to those showers, we have been seeing some heavier showers going on near Cedar Key, and in Daytona Beach we're seeing a lot more of thunderstorms that are coming into that area. Here's how those inches of rain have been affecting in the past since Saturday. We have almost 5 inches of rain hitting the St. Augustine area and keeping it at a really higher pace into your east coast. Here's how those flood watches have been looking into that area near the east coast, and they've been reaching the most amount of rain, but they have been increasing more into the entire state of Florida. So we have been seeing a lot of those showers, and you could be affected by those floods. Now this is happening because of the increase of moisture happening down through the south and that steady front going on through the Gulf Coast, mainly affecting the south of Louisiana, but more affecting the part of the panhandle of Florida, still giving us those shattered scours in the area. But we have been having some tropical storm watch over this area over here. We're having 2 clusters of thunderstorms that could turn into tropical cyclones happening more towards the north, so it should not be affecting us, but there is one storm that could. We have Tropical Storm Francine that is going to be turning into a Category 1 hurricane going more towards the center of the United States, more hitting Louisiana, and then keep going up. But unfortunately, fortunately it won't be hitting us, but we could be seeing some of those scattered showers affecting our area. Now here's a little bit more of that low pressure front going in towards the center of Texas, now happening with those scattered showers over at the top north central Florida. That'll be affecting us. Now here's that 7-day outlook for you. We have 85 degrees on Tuesday tomorrow, rising up into the rest of the week, 88 for your football Saturday, and those showers continuing to go up throughout the week.
A quarterback controversy could be brewing with the Gators football program. If you haven't heard, DJ Lagaway put up big record numbers during his debut on Saturday. WUFT's Talia Baia is live in the studio with the big decision Billy Napier has now on his plate.
Lagaway put up the most ever passing yards recorded by a true freshman on Saturday. It was his first collegiate start after Graham Mertz went down with a concussion against UMiami. To Florida's enjoyment, Lagaway went off, producing Heisman contending stats. He completed 72% of his passes and threw for 456 yards and 3 touchdowns. To give you a comparison, Mertz only completed 55% of his passes, throwing for 91 yards and an interception. Granted, Lagaway's impressive game was against Samford while Mertz was playing a 10th-ranked team, but that's where the controversy lies. Napier said in a press conference after the game that, quote, "We intend to play Lagway every week, and there's no question he'll be a part of every plan going forward." It has not been officially announced with who will really start, but Napier is speaking in a press conference later today. WFT's Maddie Walker will give you more updates during First at 5.
Marion County deputies are asking for your help in locating a missing teen. 15-year-old Destiny Keynes was seen yesterday around 2 p.m. in Marion Oaks, heading east on Marion Oaks Boulevard. She was wearing a light blue shirt and black Crocs. Her family is concerned for her safety because of her history of mental health conditions. If you have any information on her whereabouts, you can call Ocala Crime Stoppers. One Silver Springs family lost their forever friend to a fire last night. Marion County firefighters responded to a home on fire around noon on Sunday. No one was home at time except for the family dog. Unfortunately, the animal died before help arrived. No additional injuries were reported, but the Red Cross was on the scene to help the displaced family. The Miami Dolphins' first game of the season was prefaced by one of their star players in handcuffs. Dolphins fans were worried on Sunday morning as they arrived outside the stadium to see the wide receiver being pinned to the ground. Multiple people filmed Tyreek Hill being detained by Miami police hours before kickoff. Miami-Dade police launched an internal affairs investigation because they did not understand why the situation escalated. Hill says he doesn't know why either.
I have no idea, for real. No idea. No idea, man. It's crazy. No idea. It wasn't disrespectful, you know, because my mom didn't raise me that way. Didn't cuss.
A second Dolphins player was also detained while trying to discuss the situation with officers on scene. The officer who arrested Hill said he stopped Hill for speeding and reckless driving and has since been placed on administrative leave. SpaceX launches its most daring mission yet tomorrow morning. The first ever private spacewalk, Polaris Dawn, has been postponed several times due to a helium issue and weather, which still remains a serious obstacle. SpaceX conditions are only 40% favorable for liftoff from Kennedy Space Center on Tuesday morning. Polaris Dawn aims to reach the highest Earth orbit flown since the Apollo program in 1961. In the middle of hurricane and wildfire season across the U.S., a quarter of homeowners say they are not financially prepared to be able to handle extreme weather events. That's according to a new survey from Bankrate. 7% of those surveyed said they don't have homeowners insurance. Of those that do have insurance, 15% said they would go into debt to cover their deductible if their property was damaged. Insurance analysts say extreme weather has changed the coverage landscape and homeowners need to make sure their policies are up to par where they live. Another national retailer is shutting down stores across the country, and this time it could be for good. Big Lots announced it is filing for Chapter 11 or reorganization bankruptcy. The company is closing almost 300 of its 1,400 stores across the country, and more stores could be on the way. The business cited inflation and high interest rates as to why, as Big Lots joined a list of growing businesses without cutting losses while customers cut back spending on non-essential items. Now let's head over to WUFT anchor Alex Land at a look with what's coming up on First at 5 this evening.
Thanks, Emma. We're following 3 top stories for you today. Meet us here again at 5 to hear about how one local pantry is tackling food insecurity. Plus, learn what Florida officials are doing to honor missing children in the capital. We have reporters in the field at Gator football's head coach Billy Napier's weekly press conference right now. Be sure to see who Napier secures as his top pick ahead of the game against Texas A&M this weekend. That's your First at 5 preview. I'm Alex Land. See you tonight.
In my bag.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend that for this week. As we can see, those showers are going to stay consistent throughout the week, even though the temperatures are rising. So definitely keep that umbrella on hand and your poncho on.
Thanks for joining us for WUFT Midday. We're back here tomorrow for another edition. We now join Sports Scene with Steve Russell live on WRF Radio and right here on WRUF-TV Channel 6. Have a good afternoon.